All right, we're live. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Sunny Ray. This is the Sunny Ray Show. Today, I'm joined by Aparna. Aparna is a founder of Spoton Pet. Aparna, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome.
You're doing awesome. Where in
I'm
the
doing
world are
awesome.
you?
Right now, I'm in New Jersey.
You're in New Jersey. Okay, so we've got
Yeah.
an interesting episode ahead of us. As I mentioned, I like to kick it off by just giving people one or two lines on your company, and then we somehow end back at that topic by the end of the interview. But
Okay.
it's a bit of a magic show. But yeah, just maybe start to kick us off, share a little bit about what Spot On Pet is, and then yeah, we'll dive into the interview.
Yeah, sure. Spot On is the premier ride hailing marketplace for pets and the people who love them.
I love it. So that's pets need to get to places as well, right? Okay, so Aparna, I've got
Yeah,
a
they
couple
don't
of.
have thumbs, so they can't drive themselves.
Ooh, good point. Good
Yeah,
point. Yeah,
you kind of need thumbs to drive.
makes sense. Makes sense. I hear you. Okay, so Aparna, let's take this one back. Where did you grow up, and what was your household like?
How far do you want me to go back? No, I was born in India. My parents immigrated to this country when I was 2. Pretty much grew up and down the eastern seaboard, but I really say I did my growing up in Maryland. Um, High school, I mean, middle school, high school, and college were all in Maryland. I'm a Terp, University of Maryland. Um, and, typical brown household, typical Indian household. Study, 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 study.
Yep, yep.
Uh,
So you went to University of Maryland. What were you
I did.
studying there, and did you know what you wanted to do coming out of school?
No. What was I studying in Maryland besides partying? I was studying government politics, animal science, and English. And only one I've actually used, I guess, thus far. But no, I didn't really know. Well, I kind of knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a lawyer. Um, and then I caught the entrepreneurial bug and started my own production company, music production actually, which spun off into a record label, which made me move to Europe to do some, you know, business there with my record label. Um, and then I guess from there, I just, uh, you know, again, caught that entrepreneurial bug and just had to do my own thing.
So I did come across that when I was researching, is that you were a DJ in college as well? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So I guess my
Yeah.
question is, how did music shape you, and does that creative side of you still show up in how you run your company today?
Yeah, I mean, I think, being a DJ, you have to be open to listening to many different types of music. My specific forte was house, progressive house. But, if you really want to evolve as a DJ, you really have to open your mind to other types of music from reggaeton to, you know, uh, hip hop, even top 40 actually. And it really um, broadens your taste. And because of that, I think I'm able to, take hold of my company and think outside the box and be open to different ideas and different outlooks on things. Because as a founder, you can't just do things that are in your box. You definitely have to get outside of the box, jump back in sometimes, but definitely outside the box, take that box down and make a new box. Because I think that's the only way your company can grow and evolve. Um, Potentially pivot if pivot is necessary. But yeah, I think being uh, a DJ has really kind of broadened my horizon on what I need to do with my business.
Interesting. And it was it before Spot On, you ran a company called Tsunami for about a decade, right? So what was that company, and what did those years teach you about building something from scratch?
Yeah, so Tsunami Inc. was my marketing company. And again, built it from scratch. We were a boutique marketing firm. And um, again, it put me in a position where, you know, without boxing yourself in one niche corner, you really have to think outside the box on how to help your clients promote their event or program or something, and really kind of come up with innovative ideas on you know, what how to help them achieve their end result, which is obviously, you know, if it's an event, having a lot of people at their event, you know, if it's at uh, you know, lack of a better term, we a part of our business, we did uh, t-shirt designs, t-shirt printing, merch, a lot of merch. So it's really about thinking outside the box and seeing how you can have your client uh, be showcased and not just do the regular norm, a white t-shirt with a, you know, a logo front and back,
Yeah.
like boring.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, again, um, with the marketing company, it added another layer of, you know, besides the music, but it added another layer of how I can attract customers to buy something that's not mine.
Got it. Got it. Interesting. So you also ran Ultimate Dog, canine sports and wellness center. So when did pets become a central part of your identity and not just, you know, a hobby?
Well, I mean, I think I wouldn't call pets my hobby. Uh, Pets that have been in my life were more family than anything else. That's how our parents raised us. I had a dog growing up. She lived with us for like 13 years. And my parents had always said that's their, like, you know, third daughter. I'm the second. And when she passed, it was really hard on our family. I was already out in LA. So it was really, really hard on my parents because they were with her at the time of passing. But we were on the phone. My sister, I think she was in Michigan at the time. We're all on the phone, like when, you know, she was in the hospital, and talking to her and things like that. So I think really pets have shaped my life from the very get go. But with Ultimate Dog, that was interesting because it really gave me a chance to go deeper into or explore the pet space. I had two dogs at the time, and we were both, you know, the three of us were pretty active. Raja was a dock diver, a diving dog. So it's a competition where they run you know, run off a dock into a body of water, and they measure how far they go. I mean, he loved to do it. I wasn't that great of a thrower, so I really couldn't make him go that far. But you know, he loved to do it, and that's kind of what stemmed Ultimate Dog, is because there's so many dog sports, and there wasn't really a single place where you could go to either train or practice, um, you know, dog sports. So the idea behind Ultimate Dog was simply, let's build a place, you know, build it and they'll come, right? Like something that's the size of a Costco or a Home Depot, and you have like a, you know, a 200-foot pool. You have, you know, agility course, basically a gym for dogs. And, you know, you can come there and learn all different types of dog sports, hone your dog sports skills. That was the ultimate idea. Uh, Unfortunately, it didn't really pan. What we ended up doing was doing an Ultimate Dog Festival, um, that we basically brought together a lot of these dog um, sports into one place over a weekend, and got some vendors to come there, obviously all pet related, family friendly. And yeah, we did a very successful event as Ultimate Dog. But from Ultimate Dog is really where, if we can segue into Spot On,
Please.
how Spot On got started. I had that idea burning in my head, and after doing Ultimate Dog and kind of realizing the potential of, um, you know, the pet industry, And also seeing that there was really no convenient transportation model for the pet world. That's kind of what really drove everything. Besides the fact that yes, I with my two dogs try to get into Uber and they rejected me. So that was kind of the second impetus on making something like this happen.
You've also mentioned that faith and family as big anchors. So how did your upbringing and your cultural background influence your approach to entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about staying true to yourself at the end of the day and making sure that you're making the choices that, okay, let me just put it this way. Ultimately, I'd like to wake up in the morning and be able to look at myself in the mirror and say, I like that person. And the way my parents have raised us is to just make sure that you go down the narrow path, and it's a hard path, but stay straight and you'll achieve what you want to. Um, and there are a lot of difficult times that come up, but you just put your head down and you keep going, and you bust through the wall, or you go over it, or you go under it, you go around it, but you just keep going. But do it in a way that you can wake up in the morning and like who you are.
So you touched on kind of like what was the impetus, right, for Spoton, but there's a famous story about you and your dogs getting rejected by rideshare drivers over and over. So walk me through that night. What was going through your head?
I'll tell you what was going through my head. I cried. So we were coming back from a really long trip up from LA. We drove from LA to Alameda. Maybe like 5 hours. And it was pretty late at night. And I had a rental car. So I was coming back down, you know, and about an hour from LA, I called my friend and was like, "Hey, we're coming back in. Can you still pick us up?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. I'll pick you up. I'll pick you up." Okay, fine. So I thought I was good on the ride. Then, 15 minutes before we actually get to our destination, the rental to return the car, my friend calls me up and is like, dude, I got some car problems. I can't make it. And I'm like, okay, no worries. I'll just get a ride because, that's what we have an app for, and I'll call an Uber. No worries. So again, I think it was probably around maybe like midnight at this point, and I'm tired coming after like a long ride. And I'm the only one driving because obviously my two dogs can't drive. Again, they don't have thumbs. Um, and unload the car, all this and that, right? And I'm ordering the car. Comes within like 10 minutes, and he immediately sees my two dogs and drives off. So I'm like, what the heck? Okay, he's like going in the wrong direction, but I'm still here. And then I message him, doesn't call me back. Then I have to cancel it. Then I order another one. Another 10 minutes later, they show up, pulls up, and he's like, wait, you have two dogs? No, I can't take you. I'm like, okay, at this point, it's almost 12:30, and I'm super tired. I'm exhausted. And then I try Lyft. Same thing happens. I literally went through 6 different ride hailing, well, not services, but like 3 times with Uber and 3 times with Lyft, got rejected every time. So then that first guy that I had called actually was swinging around, and he noticed that I was still standing there now, like 45 minutes later. So he pulls up and he's like, look, I rejected your ride. I see you're still here. And at this point, I'm crying. I'm so tired. I can't take this. Like, this is ridiculous. I just need to get home. And my home was not more than 15 minutes away. And I was like, I just need to get home. And I told him, I was like, dude, can you just take me? I just need to get home. How much do you want? Like, I mean, at this point, it was like, I need to get home. I need to go to bed. I need to just get into my own house. And he felt bad for me. He let me get in the car with my two dogs. But the whole way through, he was like, I don't want your dogs to do this. I don't want your dogs to do that. I mean, at this point, I was like, they won't do anything, and I'll pay for whatever damage they do, whatever. But it was just such an ordeal that it really got me thinking. I'm like, look, I had money pay the guy to take me home. If this segment has that much buying power, why don't we have a service that actually caters to them? And I get it. Like, ride hailing, it's a service industry, and there are many, 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 drivers that will not take pets. So, weeding through the drivers is the big thing, right? I mean, obviously, our service, we only take drivers that are pet friendly. You don't have to be all pet friendly because, some people are allergic to cats, dogs, whatever. But as long as you set your preferences as a driver, then you'll get the rides that you want. And the mindset in all of this has always been from a consumer standpoint. I've never been an Uber driver. Actually, technically, we're located in New York City. I cannot drive for my own company because I am not a TLC driver. You have to get a special permit from the Taxi and Limousine Commission to be a driver in New York City. And unless you have that license, you can't drive for Uber, Lyft, or any ride hailing or taxi company. So although we're, again, headquartered in Brooklyn, I can't drive for my own company. But again, coming from the consumer standpoint, it was just really easy for me to be like, what would it take for me to get into a car with a stranger and drive my boys somewhere? And that's always been the mindset. So as long as I'm thinking, hey, what would the consumer want? We're in the right direction. Then I realized I have two consumers. It's not just the passenger, but drivers are also our customers, right? Because we're a two-sided marketplace. So then the mindset had to switch and be like, well, how do I attract drivers to come work for us, to drive for us when they have other options? So, it's all about, again, going around and thinking outside the box and making sure you're just not stagnant. And, with a marketplace, you got to be moving in all different directions because you have, many different types of individuals that are using your service, using your platform.
So then you also, there's another story where you went to LAX and started interviewing pet owners and drivers like a journalist. So what did you learn? What did you learn from those conversations?
Oh my God. So yeah, before I started Spoton, which is actually called Buster's Buggy at the time, I wanted to find out if there was a real need. So I think it was maybe like a month, maybe 5 weeks. Almost every day I was at LAX, walking around to the different terminals and speaking to anyone that was walking in with a pet, walking out with a pet, asking them how they got there, why they're taking their pets with them. And everything centered around one thing. Y'all, my pets are my family. They're my kids, or, substitute for kids. And I like to travel with them. And how am I getting here? Well, it's beg and borrow, right? Either I'm begging friends to take me to the airport with my dog, cat, hamster, or I'm paying an exorbitant amount of money to get them here. But at the end of the day, I want them to travel with me. I want them to come vacation with me. We're going to visit family and they're part of the family. Same things that I was doing with my dogs, 2 dogs. We go come back to the East Coast every holiday season. My nieces and nephews, they love my dogs. So of course they come with me, but getting them there, getting them to the airport is difficult. Getting them on the plane and flying on the plane was easy. It was just that getting to and from the airport. And I knew that when I started talking to all these people that everybody had a common problem and there wasn't a solution. And that's what made me really push for, launching Buster's Buggy, now Spoton. Name change, guys, name change. That's what we pivoted, name change. And really kind of take this thing forward.
You became driver number one in your own pilot program in LA. What was it like being, behind the wheel, testing your own idea before anyone else believed in it?
Yeah. Well, one person believed in it, which is my co-founder and CTO, John. Um,
Hmm.
so here's actually the real story of how Spoton got started. Um, I had this idea for like, let's do an Uber for pet, right? Um, and John and he worked on some other projects with me for my other company, doing IT stuff and whatever. So I really trusted him as far as the technology because although I'm brown, I'm like zero tech. So I need someone to know tech. And it was John. So I called him up and I was like, hey John, I got this idea. I want to do like a Uber for pets, like a pet taxi. Basically I want to be able to, you know, get on my phone, order a car, and have this person pick me up and be okay with my two dogs. And he was like, okay, I'll let you know. I was like, okay. Dude ghosted me for like 4 weeks. 3, 4 weeks, ghosted me. Wouldn't answer my text, wouldn't pick up my phone call. And I was like, what the hell just happened? And then he was like, yeah, I was an Uber driver for the past couple of weeks. I was trying to figure out, how the driver side of things worked. And I think we can do this and we can do it better. And that's that's what started us. From there, I was like, okay, put up a website. Let me go do some research. And then that's when I became driver number one. We printed up some flyers, and I took them to the local dog park and I started plastering them up everywhere. And then all of a sudden I get a call. And someone was like, hey, are you doing rides to the airport? And I was like, sure. So, I mean, okay, so technically, yeah, I was driver number one, but at that time, the company wasn't really formed. It was just the idea. And we actually took free rides. All these rides in the pilot were free. It was just a friend taking a friend to the airport. And it really got me talking to people that were calling us for rides and asking them why how did you find out about us? Why are you using this service? I mean, what prompted you to just pick up the phone and call? I mean, it was all very, very low tech. It was picking up your phone, making a phone call and saying, can I get a ride? And through that pilot, I think we did about 500 and some odd rides. My friends started driving for me. And, obviously I didn't pay them because if I did, I would probably get in trouble with somebody in LA County. So I didn't pay them. But towards the end of the pilot, there were some, people that took rides that were donating money for their, time and giving them gas money. So that's when I knew I could monetize this. And again, that's kind of the evolution of where we are right now from there to here, from a 500 ride pilot to being in New York City and hopefully dominating the world soon.
So spot on drivers get 80% of each fare, right? Uber and Lyft are way lower than that. How do you make the economics work while, paying drivers more?
Yeah, so first of all, our rates are a little bit higher than your regular Uber and Lyft. We're more Uber Black. And yes, currently drivers get 80% of the fare. And that's mainly because again, we're still trying to recruit enough drivers so we can have a big driver base like Uber and Lyft. And in order to do that, we have to entice them in different ways. I mean, this is probably going to be going out everywhere. So I have no problem it being known that, once we reach a certain threshold, we will be lowering that commission. I don't want to play bargain basement. I want quality drivers. I'd say 99% of our drivers are quality drivers that really care about the work that they do and our company. And treating them well is very important to me. One thing that I always hear when I get into a car with a a driver that drives for somebody else is, oh, I don't like this company. They don't pay well. Da, 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 da. I mean, Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, they'll never see 70, 80% of the fare. They have promotions where they can run around and, try to get all the surge pricing that they can. But we don't play that game. We offer drivers a fair rate. Right now, it's very fair. But I think once we start expanding, once we start getting bigger, and the volume of rides that we get is more consistent for drivers, then we can lower that percentage and say, hey, yeah, you're not going to get 80%, but you're still going to get a lot, and your rides are going to be consistent. And each ride is, a higher ticket than your regular Uber or Lyft ride. So therefore, our kind of push with drivers is you're going to make more money with us driving less. And you're probably going to have a better time because if you're a pet person, you can enjoy your day with a dog or a cat and, have a nice ride. I mean, we do a lot of pet only rides. So if you don't want to deal with people and you just want to have a pet in your car, it's perfect company for you.
I like that. So you've transported dogs, cats, cockatoos, ferrets, chinchillas, even iguanas. What's the wildest spot-on ride story you've ever heard?
Oh, don't forget a pig.
A
My
pig.
pig. My pig.
Your pig.
Yeah.
You're
Anjali.
pointing as if though Anjali's right beside you. Oh my God, I want to see her.
She is, but she's behind.
How big is your pig? I feel like there's like a whole show about that, but how do you?
Yeah, she needs her own time. She doesn't share.
How long have you had a pig for?
It'll be 5 years. Yeah.
And does she ride on Spoton?
She does.
She does. Oh wow,
she has.
That's so cool.
She's ridden in many a Spoton.
Super cool. Super cool. Is she your mascot?
She is not. She's like, I'm not anyone's mascot, but she is our CEO. I'm just the voice.
Got it. Noted. So, Aparna, you were Inc. Female Founders 100 list. As a woman of color, building a tech startup, what was your fundraising experience been like, and what do you wish investors understood better?
Yeah, fundraising is an up and down. You hit some good spots and you start getting a lot of traction with fundraising, and then it dries up. Knocking on doors and doors don't open, windows aren't cracked open. Fundraising is very difficult, and that's the main job of a founder, right? Is fundraising, and it's actually your first job. Running the business is a second job, and it takes away from running your business. Yet it is one of the most important aspects of being a founder, because if you can't, if you're, companies generating revenue and you don't need to expand or, generating enough revenue where you can put it back into the company and expand and do all that, great shit without having outside investors, then great. Awesome. Love you as a founder. You don't have to do the main job of fundraising, but I think majority of the founders, your main job is fundraising. You're passively or actively fundraising. And it really, really does take away from running the business, especially when you're doing it actively. And the biggest thing is finding those right investors, right? You have to knock on 1,000 doors to get 10 that will be interested in talking to you. So really, it's weeding through investors and seeing who's going to be interested, who fits the mold, who not only fits my mold, but am I in their thesis? And VCs will take just about anybody's call, but then again, like I said, it's like you can talk to 100,000 people and get 10 that will actually work out. And that's the difficult part, I think, is, and I have no problem putting my face up there and talking to people, but it just gets to be a grind because you just want to hear that yes, and the door keeps closing. And then it's like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Like, how many more doors do I need to knock on? But you need a thick skin. I mean, you need to be able to take the rejection, and again, hopefully that you have a good team and some good people behind you that can lift you back up and be like, okay, hey, let's go after another list. Let's go after another set of investors. Also, using your current investors to help you find new ones is always an easy the easy fruit to pick. But still, it's just a matter of getting there, knocking on the door, and going through the process over and over and over again.
So maybe help me land the plane. Where is Spoton going next? You've talked about world domination. What does the next 12 months look like? And what would it take for every city to have this service?
A lot of money. Or a great partner. I would say this, or a great partner. In the next 12 to 16 months, I want to expand the company into 3 cities: Austin, Atlanta, and Seattle. And I mean, we are fundraising, so it really would help if we can finish out the fundraising round. So I won't have to do it like I did New York City, was like piecemealing. Because again, fundraising was slow, then it got picked up, and then so we're going back and forth. I'd like to have the money in the bank and be able to deploy and really make a solid move into these places. And if we don't get the full 3 million, we could still expand into maybe not all 3 cities. It just depends on what we end up, finally raising. So we can be flexible there. But yeah, I'd like to see Spoton in every major city across the world. I do think Tokyo might be our biggest foreign market, just because they love their pets and it's so dense. And I think we would fit well together. And actually, being brown, a lot of people are telling me to Bangalore, that I should be looking into Bangalore. So possibilities there too. But I think, with the way we've built the business, it's not just a pure consumer tool. We've done a B2B2C approach. So we work with the vets, the groomers, doggy daycares, and we can be their transportation arm, right?
Nice.
We can help them expand their geographical footprint by just using us as a transportation mode, either to bring in their clients with their pet, or sorry, bring in pets with their owners, or as I said, a bulk of our rides that we do are pet only. So you just a lot of our vet offices can book rides directly for their clients if they're having surgery or whatever, and bring them in and basically do like a telehealth visit. So they'll have the dog or the cat at the office. They'll check them out, give the owner a call and say, this is what happened. We're going to send them home with the medication that they need. And actually, I'm just going to add this. Sorry, I should have thought about this earlier. It was because of the pandemic that we switched, pivoted into pet only rides. As a pet parent, when I first got asked by a vet, hey, can you pick up this dog and take it, to one of our other offices? I was like, what? Well, I would never put my dog without me in with a stranger driving them. No, I can't. No, I said, no, we can't do that. I'm not going to be liable for anything that happens. And then the same vet calls me up. It's like, we really need to get this, transported. How do we do that? So then I thought about it. And if we put the right safety measures in, which we have and continue to do, it can work. And it has worked. And that's basically how we started doing the pet only rides, because that really insisted on it. And again, with the right safety measures and the right drivers, we've made it work. It hasn't been smooth sailing, but it's been sailing. You definitely I think you could definitely trust putting your pet in with a spot-on driver rather than, throwing them in an Uber or Lyft and saying, see ya, hope you get there.
I love that. Well, what a beautiful story. Did you see yourself in that vet? like that story you started with the hour of crying, like when the vet was begging you, were you kind of like, I need to figure this one out too?
At that moment, I was just crying and needed to get home. But yes, it was because of those moments that I've had where I found trouble, transporting myself and my dogs is the reason for Spoton. I mean, it's all selfish.
But it's funny, no, like how in our moments of like deepest despair, we somehow create art, we create, businesses, we create opportunities. So it's like, it's nice that way. Yeah. Like I wanted a dog as a kid, never got one, unfortunately. My kids are begging me to buy them a dog. We haven't folded, but yeah, every conversation I have with you, I feel like you're doing work for my daughters or something. Like I feel like you're in cahoots with them, but they're
Well, I
always
mean,
on my case. Like they know every dog in the neighborhood. They're like best friends with them. But yeah, but no, there's just something special about them. Yeah, like my
yeah, and
business partner Charles has 5.
yeah, I mean, and the other thing is, of course, being a founder, starting a company, you have that founder dream of either exiting or IPO, right? And making bank. For me, I know that if I do things the right way, that those things will happen. But that's not what's driving me here. Okay. What's really driving me is the feedback that I get from customers. They're like, hey, you know what? Thank you so much. We tried using the other services. My dog was sick. I needed to get it to the vet, and you guys, stepped in and were able to do that. I just wish I knew more about you guys. I wish I knew you guys. Sorry, I wish I knew about you guys sooner. And because we're small and we continue to be scrappy, that's why I think this fundraising is so important for us, because it will not only get us into other cities, but I think it can definitely, in New York City alone, give us the flexibility of really reaching more people, and really reaching into the consumer base, and also hopefully. So one of the things that I'm trying to do with Spoton, we have a philanthropic side of us, right? So not all about making money all the time. We want to give back. And the way we give back with Spoton is we partner up with rescue organizations, um, shelters, um, fostering agencies, pet fostering agencies, services, and we partner up with them. And if you use a coupon code from one of our partners, then that partner will get a free ride to use for one of their fosters or shelter pets. Either it's a ride to their forever home, it could be a ride to the vet, or the very simple thing is the ability to take them to an adoption event and hopefully get them adopted. So what I'm trying to do is build a business so we can offer more of those free rides to those organizations. Hopefully, we find a partner that can do that along with us. Um, so yeah, I mean that's kind of the impetus on the reasoning behind my wanting to make this thing succeed. It's not for money. If I do it right, the money will come. That's just going to be um, icing on the cake. But I think it's really the cake, little spongy part of the cake that I really want to get to, helping people with their pets, making sure we get lots of dogs and cats and hamsters to their forever home, and pigs and piggies to their forever homes.
Leave no pet behind.
Leave no pet behind.
I love it, Aparna. Well, what a touching story, and thank you so much. I know you're super busy, but thank you for lending your time. We also have almost 20 people watching live. Thank you all for
Nice.
tuning in, and for anyone else that watches in the future. Until next time, yeah. Aparna, spoton.pet is the website, and you are on LinkedIn, aren't you?
Spoton.pet.
LinkedIn, is that where people can link in with you, and if they want to talk to you? Awesome. So go find Aparna. What's your last name, just in case
Srinivasan.
Srinivasan.
Yes.
That's an easy one to remember. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
typical
Hey, by the way,
South Indian nation.
I got 2 offices in Bangalore, so let's maybe, work together on the Bangalore side as well. It'd be nice to get you
Yeah,
up.
unfortunately in Bangalore, you're gonna be sitting in traffic, so you might need like
Dude,
10 hours to
morphine,
get your dog
morphine.
across
No,
the street.
I'm kidding. Yeah. No, I gotcha. Okay, well, thank you all. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.